What's up, YouTube? Mike from Mass here, Mass Aquariums, and in tonight's video I want to give you 5 quick tips on how you can successfully have a nano saltwater reef aquarium. Now, I don't want you guys to be scared about having salt water or making a transition from freshwater to saltwater. I'm going to give you 5 tips that's going to make this very easy for you to do. I know a lot of people want to get into it, and this is going to make it easy. So, my number 1 tip, filtration. You have to have adequate filtration for a nano reef aquarium. Now, this is a 10-gallon tank, and I run an AquaClear 50 hang on the back. In my AquaClear 50, I run a poly filter pad, which will get rid of excess phosphates and nitrates. I run ChemiPure Blue and 1 sponge. And that is all, folks. No media whatsoever in my filter. Tip number 2, use RODI water only. Do not use tap water and try to get rid of all the heavy metals and everything else you have. Whether you can afford to buy an RODI unit and make your own RODI water, or you have to go buy it from the local fish store, it will save you dollars and cents and your mind and your time by being able to use RODI water in your reef tank. Trust me, just use RODI water. Number 3, your light duration. Whatever type of light you decide to buy, I went with a ZoomEd LED, very cheap, $36 online. Keep your light duration between 6 to 8 hours. Try to keep them on when you're home and not when you're away, and keep them to a minimum. Do not have them on all day long. Do not keep your tank in front of direct sunlight. Number 4, focus and dedication to your tank. Folks, you got to be dedicated to a nano saltwater tank. You can't just dose it, let it sit there, don't do water changes. You really have to do water changes on a weekly basis. The bigger the saltwater tank, the less water changes you have to do. The bigger the saltwater tank, the less fluctuation, the less things can go wrong. When you're starting off with a 10-gallon or maybe even 5-gallon, let's say 20-gallon or less, you're going to want to do a water change every week and schedule it. Don't wait a day, don't wait 2 days. On the dot, 5-7 days, get your water out, get your water in, gravel back the substrate, get all that waste out, get the nitrates out. You are going to want to do that. If there's any tip that you could follow at all out of these 5 tips, do water changes regularly on a low tech, well, you know I run low tech tanks, on a small nano reef aquarium. You have to change over the water. There's just not enough water to absorb any type of difference that's going to go wrong in your tank. And last but not least, tip number 5 is, have I got there already? Jesus. Well, folks, tip number 5, focus, filtration, light, RO water. Boom. Tip number 5, stocking. I think my tank is probably overstocked. I have 2 Ocellaris clownfish and a coral banded shrimp in this tank. You're gonna wanna keep it right about there. Cleanup crew, maybe. And that's, you know, some salties are still gonna say this tank is overstocked. Some people are gonna say that, you know, a 10-gallon tank doesn't even deserve to have fish in it. But, you know, it is what it is. You can totally run a tank this small successfully and have your clownfish in the tank and have corals and the works. You just need to be on par. Now, if I haven't scared you and you're still around, let me tell you, once you have a regimen down, everything is going to be all good. You put your corals in, you feed your fish, just like you would do with freshwater, except once a week, instead of changing 5 gallons of freshwater, you have to change 5 gallons of salt water. Now that being said, I like to always have 5 gallons of salt water mixed, ready to go at any moment. If you come home and you look at your tank and you're like, oh wow, something doesn't seem right. Boom, it's only 10 gallons. You can take out 50% of the water and put 50% back in and fix the problem instantly. That's the beauty of a small tank, is it doesn't take much to regulate it back to normal. Hindsight 2020 or whatever that saying is, it also can go get out of whack very quick. So, I know I'm back and forth here, but folks, all you need to do is do a weekly water change and keep an eye on your tank. Good husbandry as always, and you're going to be fine. So, those are my 5 tips. I hope you get your salty side going. I hope you turn one of your 10-gallon grow-out tanks into a saltwater tank very soon. This is Mike from Mass. I am out.